Emeka Nzinge is a lawyer and an entrepreneurial facilitator, trying to encourage a new generation of business owners in Africa's largest economy. I asked him about the importance of fostering a nation of young entrepreneurs.
Well, to be very honest with you, I try to tell them about the essence of starting businesses now. Because the idea in Nigeria is when you finish university, you get a job. That seems to be everybody's ambition. So there isn't enough of an entrepreneurial spirit in our young people. But the reality now is very few jobs, and even for those who can get jobs, the remuneration is little or nothing. So the question is, what do we do about this? So I let them know that if, whilst you're in university, you start to think about what it is you want to do, what your passion is, and how can you turn that passion into something lucrative, then when you come out of the university, you are better positioned to start your own business. So we now take them through the principles of that, bearing in mind that I have started a business in Nigeria, which I would say is, somewhat successful. I mean, there's so much more we can do, but I mean, we're happy with where we are.
Are they doing this in parallel with the university course then, or is
no, not necessarily, and that's the problem, because the whole idea of this soft skill is to supplement the university education, because university education is all about what you're studying, the academic part of it. Sure. But then the soft skills is telling you that you need to now think about what you want to do as opposed to just going into an employment.
Okay, so the implication of what you're saying is that universities are unloading a lot of people onto a jobs market which is too slim, too thin and such. Well, so does that imply that you would encourage people maybe not to go to university and start getting those skills at an age of 16 or 17, which they could perfectly well do, presumably?
To be honest with you, university is not as popular anymore. There are people now who do other things and make so much more money than people who go to university. I mean, gone are the days where your parents would tell you, you have to be a medical doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be an engineer. Now you have the musicians, you have people who actually just go into the entertainment industry and they're doing so well.
And social media helps.
Social media helps. I mean, the social media boom is amazing. When you have Instagram, people post pictures, so they just get popular for, whatever it is they're doing.
Can we talk specifics about, because you are somebody who does sit down with people and be quite specific about what you think they ought to do. You encourage people obviously to have goals.
Yes.
And everybody says that, who must have goals. How do you actually instill that in people? How do you encourage them to do that? How do
you make them think about it, and that's part of what our session does. So what are your goals? What is it that you want to be when you grow up? What is it that you think you're most proficient at? So the whole idea is getting people to think about it. My own thinking is people don't think about it enough. So where you get them into a forum, which is what I do, where they can think about it, you find that people actually unearth new ideas, and then we try to help them to take those ideas forward.
Do they know at that kind of age what they want to do?
Well, yeah, they always know when they think about it. The idea is if they don't think about it, then they don't know.
So you have to mine into somebody and say, you may not know this, but you would make an excellent so-and-so.
No, well, you tell them what you think you do, what are the things you love doing, what gets you going, what gets you up in the morning. And then when they tell you that, you start to think about which of that can actually enable them make money. In other words, what is lucrative.
So you're actually sorting people's brains out,
That's what I do for a living, sort their brains out. Okay. Exactly.
Can we just talk about the money side of things?
Yes.
Now, entrepreneurialism, it doesn't necessarily have to have the traditional ways of being lent money, so you can start a business, there's crowdfunding and all those kind of things. How do you get involved in that? And are those kind of things important?
Well, now I ask people to get into what I call joint ventures. In other words, there are people who have capital to start their own business, but obviously not everybody does.
No.
So for those people who do not, what do they then do? So the idea is get involved with people who have started, go meet them, speak to them, see how you can become affiliated.
You mean like business angels?
Yes, so, business angels, how you can become affiliated with them. And then obviously from that, you grow, and then you can now establish yourself.
Now, you'll go back to Nigeria and continue with your good work, no doubt. Tell me about Nigeria right now. Hopes from Buhari. No cabinet yet?
It's a fantastic time to be a Nigerian. I'd say that to you. Because the anti-corruption drive is real.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And like I was discussing earlier, Buhari is somebody who we believe wants to make a change. His mantra coming into office was change. And we're beginning to see that. We're beginning to see that he's trying to go after those who have looted the economy, trying to bring our money back, and trying to create that idea for us young people that if you work hard, you can get to your goal. And that was not the case before, because you just feel that the harder you work, the more you're on remuneration.
So how quickly is he still cutting through it's a word that you use, I know, because this converse ageism that you talk about.
Converse ageism, yes.
How is he managing? Let's explain that, and how is he cutting through?
Well, to start with, converse ageism is something I coined, and it just denotes the very idea in Nigeria that young people cannot do much just because they're young. Yeah. In other words, that whole idea of experience. I mean, I do not underestimate the value of experience, but then you have to actually work to get the experience. So if we kind of started that culture where young people are given more of a chance to show what they can do with their new ideas, with their new, mindsets, then I feel that we can go much farther than we are now.
Here's the most difficult and final question for you. How will you judge whether you've done a good job? How long will it take? Where will the change show itself in Nigeria? Well,
the change will show itself, I would say, in another... I always say people should give the present regime some time. So I would say maybe 8 years. And then people who start now, how well have they done in 8 years? What is their progression rates? And then when you look at them in 8 years, would you say that they were able to imbibe the concept that you gave them, or do you say it was just something you said and, flew out of the window? Right. So I think it's something that we'll judge in the future as time goes on.
Emeka, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.